All right, welcome to so sorry. Welcome to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew, and today we're gonna give you a daily message. Feel like that's a little loud. And in this daily message, we're gonna see what the vibes are today. Um, yeah. Outside of that, I just wanna sorry take the time to yap a little bit. So let's start the yap. Pretty excited, man. Things are growing and changing and having new reasons to do certain things that we've already wanted to do. And because I'm getting new reasons to want to do old stuff again, it's really making me feel good. Now, I don't know if I told y'all, and I didn't do a reading yesterday. I tried to take a pretty chill day yesterday, so I pretty much took most of the day off. Um, then I worked a little bit, and then I did some low vibe stuff. And I don't know, it felt good to do it while doing it. I just drunk, smoked a little bit. I went and had really good conversations when I went to these people at this dispensary versus when I went to another one. From the very beginning, it was just horrible. Bad customer service, not listening. I'm like, this is the front desk person. And then I went to the other one, which was quite a ways away, and it was such a whole different vibe. And even the guy at the front, he was talking to me. We talked for a while, and it was tight because he understood everything. He's been out here. Excuse me. He's been out here for a while, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's their egos. A lot of people out here got egos," and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I can see that, and I especially see it in the driving. It's like, damn, simple turn signal will save so much like frustration and energy. A simple understanding of how to use the road would just change up everything. Again, if somebody's in the right lane, obviously they're probably going to be turning soon. I mean, that's what the right lane is for. If you don't want to turn, get in the middle lane. It's just little things like that that people don't consider, so it makes them inconsiderate. And that's it. I've been dealing with a lot of incompetence, but it's due to their egos. That's what it comes down to. And so, like, I've had to drop something off the other day at um, Encore Towers Casino Hotel, and the GPS was absolutely wrong, just completely wrong. And so, last couple of times I went there, it took me to just like a random street under an underpass, and it said that was location. So when I was here this time, I had made sure I was like, oh, I'm gonna update the Google Maps, right, so they can know that they're wrong, and I'm gonna do it. So when I dropped off the order, I went and I submitted my screenshot for my drop location, and then I was gonna roll back around and get an actual picture so people can see. And you know what? Some dude was, I guess he's a security guard. He was like in a lane, and I was pulled up right on him. And then as soon as I did that, he just started like fucking yelling and screaming at me. I'm like, first of all, I like the 7-Eleven situation. I was like, first of all, stop yelling at me. Nobody's yelling at you. I just need to jump out, take a quick picture for Google Maps, and then I'm going to be out of here. This is the paramedics line. Da, 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 da. It just kept repeating it. I'm like, you know what? Cool. Got you. And I pulled over. I guess he thought I was going to leave. Nope. I got right the fuck out my car, walked over to who looked like his bosses. They were blue coats. They had the blue coats on, so I'm assuming they were more important than him, who had on a regular security guard uniform. And I just began to talk about how unprofessional that situation was. I explained how what I'm doing is helping not only me, it's not only helping Encore, but it's also helping my where I work for, you know, Instacart. So at the end of the day, it just showed me how when you let things live as they do and you don't inject, I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood the situation because it could have been over with. I told the guy in the blue coat, was two of them, but I told him, I was like, look, man, he just took something that would have been 30 seconds and turned it into 3 minutes. And of that time frame, 3 minutes, he's just been getting told about how unprofessional he was and how legit everything I was. So, I mean, he can hear and listen to this recommendation if he wants to. But at the end of the day, if he was claiming that again, paramedics or something was coming, I just want to let you know that it would have taken me 30 seconds, and here we are, damn near 5 minutes later, and there is still no paramedics here. Again, I kept repeating the fact that what the time frame it would have took for me to complete my duty, which was to hop out, take a picture, and then hop the fuck back in. But then guess what? He wanted to yell and scream, tell me I need to fucking move, causing a huge scene, escalating the situation completely just to be 100% wrong in the situation. And then, even when I left and I came back around, just to be petty, I was going to scream out, and the paramedics still aren't here. And I did it a little bit twice, but I didn't drive around. I just like, fuck it, drop it, let it go. Because again, it looked like he got sent away to break or something. But that was just funny how, like, the 7-Eleven situation prepared me because I was the straw that broke the camel's back. Cool. I'm gonna release all of those angers, those pent up frustrations, especially because, man, I was tired. But still, no excuse. But at the end of the day, I, divine timing means I don't get mad like that all the fucking time. So I guess it was the right time for me to unleash. And then the next time something like that happened, I didn't get mad. I just let that shit be. Oh, okay. Well, here how it actually is. A, B, C, and D. You fucked up here, 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 and here. And guess what? Everything that you said still wasn't even available. Paramedics still aren't here. So at the end of the day, you were wrong on so many levels. And those people took the time. Went to another location and guy was tripping a little bit. He tried to get all saucy, and I'm like, look, man, nothing that you're saying is mattering to me. You can multitask, I can multitask. You can communicate what you need from me, and I will definitely do what you're asking me to, but you need to communicate. And he was like, I am, but I'm trying to tell you what I'm doing. I'm like, but you need to multitask. I don't get paid by the hour, I get paid by the minute. And then another part of my job, since you're here talking, is to find products that are not being scanned properly, that are not in the right spot, or being displayed right. People pay Instacart to have them be able to shop for their products on Instacart. And then people pay organizations like Kroger to have their products placed in the right spot. People are paying, but because these are like employees, they just get paid by the hour. They don't care about anything else outside of their job duty, but I have to account for way more. So it's just like I'm trying to help people, but at the end of the day, I'm also just treating them like students who don't want to do their homework. And fuck it. You don't like school, bro. I ain't about to fucking make sure you like school. I'm just gonna tell you all the real life shit that's gonna come with the problems you're trying to bring. I'm gonna be super duper nice to you so you can still understand that I'm not. I don't hate you because you don't want to learn shit. I don't hate these people because they want to be incompetent or don't want to do anything outside of their scope, like multitask, talking and making motions. It just sucked. But because I like to focus on the positive in these situations, there was a young lady who helped me out at the deli, and she was amazing, amazing, very clear in her communication. She knew exactly where the fuck her shit was. She was on point. It was amazing. And then when I was leaving, there was a young gentleman, a cart pusher. I was like, man, the same way with you. You are amazing. You guys know what you're talking about. You guys know what you're doing. And there were young people, way younger than both of these people in this situation. So it was just like, when I say that a lot of this information is for the youth, it's simply because they're most of the time they're more receptive. So, but that being said, it was nice to chill. Another fun thing, one thing that I did after I applied for some jobs that I really wanted, I decided to go treat myself. I made my quota for the day, went to Starbucks, applied for those jobs best way I could. And then I took my ass to the strip because I really wanted to ride the roller coaster at New York Casino. So I walked my ass down like 2 miles, paid $25 just to get like laughed at. But it was so fun. It was so fun. I was like high after riding it. I couldn't stop smiling. It's crazy. And then it was so weird because I got lost. I was like, damn, it's like I'm drunk and been using drugs, and all I did was go up on a roller coaster. And I ended up lost. I ended up having to walk like 4 miles, bro. Like 4 miles. So that was a fun little escapade. Went home. Then I decided, let me go to this other casino that's off the strip for a little bit. And I went over there. They didn't have blackjack, and I just wanted to play blackjack. I didn't want to play poker. So I played some penny. I put $5 in, expecting to play blackjack, but they didn't have it. So I pulled my ticket out, and then I didn't want to play poker, like I said, so I just played some penny slots. And then that was that. So it was a pretty good night, and then the next day was the situation I was telling you then. I chilled pretty much all day. I realized I was scrolling. So I decided to do a reaction video on my other channel, and I'm just going to go in and edit that today. But yeah, it was just funny to hear, funny to see, and funny to talk about. So that's why I choose to do certain things like relax. I'm trying to learn how to be more receptive. I'm trying to learn how to not be so pushy, forceful. These are all in my nature. And so whenever I'm not pushing or being forceful, it feels like I'm doing nothing. It makes me feel a little weak. But then also, when I am in a receptive mode, I feel a little too detached, you know, and like I mean, passive. Like I just let things be going. It just thing is, I'm just trying to be mindful of my own actions in any kind of mood that I'm in, which is the first to appreciate that I'm in a mood, whether that's happy, detached, whatever mood I'm feeling. I just want to be able to like be okay with it. But then at the end of the day, I also want to be able to be productive with it. But then production sometimes look like chilling all day. And then other time it just looks like, you're on the move. So yeah, I'm just trying to adjust, I guess, and really release the rest of these emotions. The last bits of the past, I guess. And I don't know if there's things right now in my present moment that are kind of influencing the release of the old things in the past, but I'm still trying to like be progressive. I'm trying to learn how to have more fun and do little things like that, not feel restricted, not necessarily say no to everything. But I did have to say no to certain things, you know, just like I had to say, I don't know if I said this story or not, but I had to say no to when I was on the roller coaster, like to this fine ass girl like checking me out. I had to say no energetically because again, I'm not going to be involved in any third parties. I don't want to put nobody in a third party. And that's harder energetically because, again, we got options as single people, right? Right. I mean, but my main priority is trying to sustain my newfound transformation and changes and transition. That's what I'm really trying to do. But I mean, to be open means to be open, right? So I'm not opposed to women coming in and wanting to date and hang out and have fun and shit. But if you are going to check me out while you got a dude right next to you giving you forehead kisses, that don't sit with me. No, I understand that I was looking good, and then I understand that I was. I'm a very personable person. I'm funny, make people laugh. People enjoy their times with me. While we interact, people like it. So of course, you probably just want to interact with me too. But it's just like the approach. Those things really do matter, just because of the simple fact that I'm not going to be involved in certain things. And if I find out that I am, I'm going to be mad. And that means you can't tell me how to behave with that anger because I've already put it out and I've already maintained my behavior. So now I'm mad. You're going to try to tell me how to be mad at you? No. So don't make me mad then. I mean, and then if you do get mad, again, or make me mad, it's my responsibility first. But if I tell you, hey, that's going to upset me if you do it, please don't, and then you proceed to slap me in my face by doing it, you got to understand the consequences. So just like that guy who decided, the security guard decided to scream and yell at me. Oh well, I'm about to go tell on you. I'm about to go tell your bosses, and I'm about to break it down because you didn't want to listen at all. All right, cool. I'm gonna make you feel like a stupid ass fucking third grader, second grader, when you're an older man than me. You're older than me. You're behaving like a second grader, screaming, throwing tantrums, creating scenes as if you're not a professional. So I had to shut that shit down as a professional. And guess what? He was sent off. I wasn't mad whatsoever. If you don't want to help your kids sustain their grades, I'm sorry. I can't do anything more than what I'm doing. I'm already doing extra. So if you don't want to do the basics nor the extra, I can't tell you anything, and I'm not changing my rules. You can go to my boss. Maybe they'll change it for you, but I'm not doing it. And that's a firm no. So I can easily put the boundary up physically, but energetically, it's a bit more difficult. Halfway because you don't know who it's coming from, where it's coming from, and then it's constantly exchanging. Energy is constantly changing. So because of that, it's hard to pinpoint what it is that is influencing you. So the idea is we got to create a situation and identify it as a something in order to have a little bit more control of the changeable energies within that something we just identified. So hopefully that helped you guys out again because it helps me out to talk about it. But with that being said, we're almost at 30 subscribers, bro. That's so insane to me. That's so insane just to see the differences between, inconsistent work versus consistent. Like I got almost 60 on my other one, but that's because I've been posting inconsistently for like years on that channel. And I just don't have a theme outside of it being my own free expression, which is why it's more of a reaction channel now. And then I put the coaching and the spiritual side over here. And that's it. I think that just helps me understand. Um, it's not like I'm not doing anything different. I already got all my books and things available. I just got to be more, I guess, tailored to. I pretty much got to build myself my own resource book of my own self. And that's essentially like having tools for teaching, knowing how you're going to teach this and that, knowing how you're going to adjust. It's just like having the right strategy, but it's not a strategy to me. The strategy is just to continue to be consistent because the strategy has already been created. Everybody over there has access to the same products and services that I sell, but again, I'd rather talk about them a little bit more here and, try to be more helpful on this side because this is blatantly the spiritual help and coaching. Like, that's what this is all about. So, yeah, I know that was a strange rant. I was like 20 minutes or something. But as always, these videos are skippable. So let's go ahead and skip the rant or the yap if you don't like that. And so let's get started on our reading. All right. Okay, what's our overall message? What's our overall message? Sorry about that. Changing moving this because I feel like I can't really hear. And then one of the videos was kind of low that I did the other day. So let's see. This sounds better to me. That's why I wear the headphones so I can see what I sound like. All right, so our overall energy is the Page of Wands with the Death card. Okay, with the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom. So whenever I see the Knight of Pentacles and I see the Death card and I see the Knight of Cups, I think those are the same people. It's the same energy, but this horse to me looks like that horse. This person riding looks like that person riding. And then they're both bringing something. And then if you want to throw in the Knight of Cups, it does the same thing. They're all facing the same way. They look the same. Versus the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, I think they're in a more dynamic type of position. This one here, they're just pretty much chilling. So in this understanding, I think there's going to be a new change that's going to be brought to you by a somebody or a something. I want to say a something, but I got like half of me that's needing to say a someone. So I'm going to read from the old school book. Again, I'll be doing this shit. I like to do a lot of things without telling people, man. I just do shit. That's like the hermit energy opposed to the fire sign energy, the king of wands. You gotta just always be telling and showing and networking, but talent is talent, man, and the right people will find it when they need to. And sometimes it might not even be this generation. So don't. I'm not afraid to like do things out of my own pleasures. Um, Even though sometimes you want compensation for certain things, but it's just at the end of the day, what can you really do? People people want what they want. People do what they do, but sometimes you don't want to give people what they want because at the end of the day, it takes more energy and effort from you. So it's okay. We got the Page of Wands. So against the background of mounds or pyramids, a page makes a proclamation. He represents the eternal messenger. So there's going to be a message that's coming in that's changing you. Again, I don't know if it's a physical message. I don't know if it's an emotional message. When I say physical and emotional, I meant energetic. But most of the time, yeah, if we're delivering a message and we're making a proclaim or a proclamation, um, it deals with something a little bit more profound than just, hey, what's up? Okay, so since it's upright, it says divinatory meaning: blonde, blue-haired, or blue-eyed young man, faithful lover, a messenger, postman, bearing of tidings. He may represent a child, either a boy or a girl. This card appears next to a card representing a man. There will be a favorable testimony concerning him. So maybe there is somebody going to bring you information about you. Maybe that energy is going to be somebody's going to say something to you and it's going to transform you. The idea is there's a message coming, and because this card is next to a man, but not just a man of death or a man of transformation, This card says that, or this combination is saying that there's going to be a message that changes things for you, changes things for people, and that just creates change. And it's looked like it's been a message that's been coming in for the longest. Again, we say for the longest for the simple fact that it is the Knight of Pentacles. And this Knight of Pentacles, he plants seeds every which way that he goes, which is why it takes me so long to get to places, because he's always planting seeds. And guess what? He's been on this journey for a long time. It's been a journey to the point to where he goes from the page, or excuse me, the 3 to the page. So he's grown, he's developed. He has no tunic on. He has a red starter cape, but everything gets goldified. You can kind of say. So again, transformation. That's the biggest difference. Give me more. Damn, that's a lot. Okay, so there's a tower moment. All right, what I'm getting from this is somebody is ending something to come tell you something, to come change something for you so you can change something for them. And all of this comes through a message. That's crazy. I think this message, again, maybe this person who's bringing the message is in a tower, going through a tower, has caused the tower, but the tower, as it is expressed, is smooth sailing from the mind, fighting different things coming towards the mind, which ends up giving sustainability. So maybe you're fighting your own internal ego and you're literally giving yourself a new message about your life and your situation, which is allowing you to step into a new version of yourself, which is saying, oh, I can win against the battles of the mind. I'm moving away from the battles or the hidden things. And guess what? No matter what comes in, I still have the high ground. I am defending everything from the highest position. Again, lots of rods cards, lots of wands, but the idea is this person, or maybe you guys have been moving away from things, standing your ground against certain things, and it's leading you to this energy here. Again, I think that this represents somebody trying to stop the message from coming in. I think that somebody is in between this phase of you and then this phase of you. So that's what I think. This phase of you is like, cool, I got what I need to know. I'm moving towards what was unknown, what is now known, and then I'm defending it, right, and moving towards this. Whereas somebody is trying to say, no, fuck it, block you. I'm gonna try to stop it. But there's a tower moment happening, so maybe that person got stopped. Maybe you are the person stopping somebody else. That could easily be the case too. Again, because energies are dynamic, we want to give scenarios so we can start to see within this one space. But in this one space, there are certain things that will change from person to person, which means that there are certain things that won't change from person to person. These things that won't change from person to person are looked at these majors. So what is not going to change in all your situations is that there is something that was hidden, unknown, or being revealed, or just revealed, or relative to the moon, which again is dealing with illumination or revealing. There is a lamp that has been cut on somewhere about something. Now, where could it be? Could be of the mind, how you talking to yourself, could be in the actions, what you're doing with yourself, it could be a person, what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, what has been illuminated is there's a way to get to here. And there is one obstacle that you got to go through, right? But of that one obstacle you got to go through, again, we don't know what it is or what it isn't, but there is some kind of obstacle, and that's not a bad thing. Timer is about to go off. Excuse me. I lost it with the music. Oh, sorry. We'll just do that then. On a side note, I really like watching my shorts, man, because it's nice. I like seeing them. I like hearing what I'm be saying. I like when the computer cuts it in just the right way. But then I like to see the differences between myself when I'm really like delivering information versus when I'm like just talking to people. Because I don't see me, but I can see me deliver when I'm talking during these little lectures. And man, it's like a different version of me. Okay, tell me about this Knight of Wands. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. So, Jumper, let's see what it was. So, the Knight of Wands is stagnation from based upon this cup. That card, I mean. Alright, what is the Knight of Wands? So, the Knight. Ooh. So, what this tells me is that this is a version of you. This is your alter ego that's trying to stop you. This is that dark side of me that doesn't want to purge, that's been knowing I should be fasting, that's been just trying to just justify so many things of the past. But again, it's because it doesn't want to lose the cups. And the fact that the four of cups showed and then the nine of cups came out, essentially something wants to put you in the five of cups. Or something wants to take you from the five of cups and put you in the nine. But that is the problem with this Knight card. The Knight card coming in, again, with the fire and the emotion cards, the two polar opposites, we've tempered something. And I think that's the problem. I think you've approached something in a certain way for a long time, and now you flip flopped it, and then you're realizing that it's still being approached in the same way. But because it has different ingredients, I think that there's going to be different results. But again, it is something about you defending or against this or standing up against this because the moon card is also representative of a water energy. So it's like you got these two water cards, and in between you got these two fire cards, and something about them is going to give an exchange to where you'll have your full suit, which is the new story that you're moving towards and your new balance of your foundation. Financially though. I love this card. This is the first card that's ever popped out to me with me when I pulled any tarot deck. The very first card to ever come out for me. And you know what? I didn't even know it was the Nine of Pentacles. I thought it was the Queen of Pentacles for the longest time until they both fell out finally. And I was like, oh shit, I've been reading this the wrong way. And it was like the first like 3 months of reading. So to me, that was just indicative that I wasn't even able to see myself in the proper way, which I can easily do now. So that might be the same with you. Maybe there's something that you've had a view upon yourself with that you are now completely changing because now you can see the value that you bring. Now you can see the value that you have already brought. Now you can tell yourself new stories. Now those stories can embed within your subconscious mind. And now your new subconscious mind can make you conscious about the things that you need to defend against. And guess what? The things that you need to defend against are the ways you view yourself in the past. There's a viewpoint changing, and guess what? I haven't thought of myself to be greedy, but I know there's parts of me that are. And like with food, I would eat. I like to eat. But then there's a part of me that wants to enjoy certain foods over others. But then I know certain things are better than me than others, and I can enjoy them in a more luxurious way, but I don't because then the luxury side starts to get in the way. But I already told y'all the other day, like, I can easily just stop, and then if I want to eat something not as healthy, go sit down and make it more of an experience, just like I did with that. Instead of just going out and going to a casino or a bar or something just because there's so many, I decided to not consume any alcohol or anything. Just it's water. It was water all day kind of vibes and Gatorade because I was tired as fuck after walking 6 miles. But went And I gave myself a luxury time. I got a whole bunch of good memories. I have new memories to replace the old memories from there. And I even had confirmation of my dream in a situation that would just confirm to me that no matter how fine you are, no matter good you look, I'm still not going to involve myself within third parties. And that was awesome. Again, that to me is the idea of how we're handling this energy. And it's coming through as a tower anyway. So whatever it was that's changing with you, it was meant to change. Again, this is an act of God. You got to understand that. I don't care if this is the biggest tower, if it's the smallest tower. The idea is that it's always uncontrollable. How are you just going to stop a lightning bolt from hitting your house? You can't. How are you going to plan for that? You can't. So the idea is, even then, the crown gets knocked off. And that whole point of this is to say that you have a tomato walking. You have a change that is happening, just like if that tomato was to change from being not alive to alive, walking around, you now have a new way to see. And I think this is why it ended up being a part of the ego side. Again, that ego aspect, because of the fact that you have a death here. And I don't know if y'all know, the death card is actually the chariot. I always be bringing up crazy shit, but if you take a look closely, you'll see there are two horses on the death card. That's like the shadow to the horse, but this is the death. So imagine it, both of those. You see that? Let me get a pencil or something. You got that one, and then you got that one. So both of those come in like the two aspects of the chariot. But the chariot, as you know, are just parts and parts of the one thing. Again, the Thoth Tarot deck shows the chariot as the dark side over here, then you got the light side, but then the dark side has a dark light, and then the light side has a dark light. And then they come together as a team, and then they're still controlled even further as a team through the chariot rider. Regular chariot card, again, it just shows you the white one, shows you the black one, and then it shows you the person driving it. Okay? That is the same concept, but you got to know that's just one thing. Again, why? Because it's a unit. Just like when I was talking about all the energies being scattered around, we can unify them with an identification, and then once we identify it, then it can become something anew. That is exactly what's happening here. I think that there are some combinatory aspects of who you were, who you are, what your egos are like. And again, if you take a deeper look, not everybody on this card is dead. Not everybody is just falling out. Some people are standing strong and are able to. Notice the one guy who can stand strong has what looks to be like a crown on his head. They're shimmering in gold. There is a reason why this person is able to be here strong. And I think this person is this person. So it's like there's things that are happening. Look. That person has the same look as that person. So again, to me, it is a deep transformation on something with somebody or about a situation in regards to some financial change and stability. It's like a huge change is happening, and it's maybe knocking off the crown to the old ego that wants to keep you locked down. Maybe he's dealing with something that you love wholeheartedly. Take a look. Ooh. So, I like to make this known always. There are certain cards that show abundance. And if you notice, these three cards all have these little things falling. Right? So in the case of these three cards, I believe there's something moving towards you, and it's going to be twofold. Again, the emotions and the rods have been popping out, but again, whenever you see that energy, temperance is what you need to think. Temperance, temperance, temperance. Why? Because these are opposites, is what we like to say, but they're not. They're not. The opposite to a water sign or a Taurus, or excuse me, a Scorpio is a Taurus or an earth sign. So the opposite is earth and water, air and fire. Those are the opposites. When you look at the will or the world card, you'll see it goes Leo, and then it goes Scorpio, then it goes Taurus, then it goes Aquarius, right? So when we're here, we got to understand that these two things are very similar. They're not opposites in the sense of they're the opposite end of the spectrum, meaning I'm hot on one end and then cold at the other. No, these two things are varying degrees of the same thing. Again, if I had 0 degrees, then I had 90 degrees, I call this a right angle now. This is a right angle. It's the same thing, and I can't have one without the other. I can't be a right angle if one of these is outside of this exact space. Again, I can have a right angle range if it's like this, and then I can be outside of that range if it's like that. But we call those acute angles and obtuse, not right angles. So this fixated energy is always in this right angle form. So that means we can't change them, but we can change all of the interactions in between. Those dynamics in between are subjective to change for the simple fact that they are in proximity. It's harder for an earth sign to change with a fire sign because they're way more separate unless it's within that modality. And so you get those modalities, those cardinal signs, fixed versus mutable. Those modalities, they come together relative to the energies that they're around. And the only energies that's around these two right now is the energy of temperance. Why is that the case? Well, because that is what these things can do. Again, they're both fixed. And what I'm saying when they're both fixed, they're both the ace of rods, or they're both the ace cards. So again, because they have a part that's the same for everybody, we gotta also look at the part that's different for everybody. And then the third step is to see them in between. So, somebody is helping you come in and you've been tempering their emotions. Maybe it's regarding a job, maybe it's regarding a relationship, maybe your friendship, partnership, network, whatever. But the idea is there's something coming in and it has been tempered or is in temperance process. Somebody's been tempering their mind. Somebody has been balancing approaches. So yeah, I'm truly seeing the fact that this energy is here, and this energy from this tower is bringing in new information way more quickly, okay, and way more deeply than what it actually is going to come off as. Somebody has been hiding something from you, and I don't think that it's a bad thing. All right, tell us more. So boom, now the night of somebody love you is what I hear from this, man. Somebody is tired of not like being able to love you. That's crazy. I've been listening to a lot of other readers talk about there's a secret admirer around, and I'm finally getting that energy too. I think somebody's been watching you, and then guess what? They've been watching you give. And the only way you can change that is this two of rods. This is my turnaround card. If this person just turns around, again, maybe whoever is coming in, okay, has been looking at the tower moment, but they haven't really been seeing you just move on by with a brand new story. I think that's what they're not seeing. They're just watching you go love things and show things and do things. They're just watching that happen, but they're not realizing what they're actually seeing occur. And what they're seeing is you're walking towards this. You're overcoming obstacles with this. You have that cup. And guess what? I said that I told you earlier that I thought, I'm telling y'all, these are like the same cards. Look how close and similar these cards are, man. Even the goddamn horses are damn near the same. So I'm trying to say that these things are very similar, just like with the Knight of Pentacles, but this here is a closer energy. Like even down to the helmet, bro. So a lot of this here is dealing with somebody's emotions, but the emotions that you're dealing with are being presented in a new way to an old person. Maybe somebody actually is seeing your value for once. And maybe you don't care to see theirs. Maybe you don't care to see theirs. Maybe you don't care to see what they did or done in the past to you. Maybe they don't care about what you got going on in your past. There is a change that is occurring, and of the change that's happening, the change is, again, because this is death, right? But death of the mind. But then guess what? This is the subconscious mind, and I was talking about defending something of the mind. I think you had an ego death, or somebody's had an ego death, or somebody's bringing an ego death. Is this fucking video waving? Whoa! Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. We'll see on the playback. All right, what else do we need to know? So, I don't know how to. We're going to just leave him right there. What is that? Upright? Okay, so somebody has been put. This fucking earth sign, man. There's an earth sign that's been put in hangman mode. Or maybe this hangman mode has this Knight of Pentacles about to make a move. Let's see. Oh, shit. So, what would y'all say? I would say that there's an earth sign who wants to come and show some love in a practical form, in a practical format. Somebody wants to come in. Somebody has had an ego death. Somebody is just so convinced now that they got to make a move. And again, I'm not the only person saying this, but I'm the first. This is the first time me actually channeling that energy. Tell me about this Ten of Swords. Whose is that? What does the, who? What does that belong to? Ten of Swords. So this dealt with money. Somebody's walking away from money. So maybe it's a change in job for you. Maybe it's a new idea about jobs. Maybe there's a situation that is occurring which will bring you some more status. But this. A horrible card with an amazing card. What would you make of that? Well, if we temper this, I can see this as just a new opportunity, a new small opportunity. Might be mediocre for most people, but for you, it'll be amazing because you might have the talents for it to turn into something else. Maybe it's a little idea based upon your death. Like when I wrote my book, Remember Your Spark. That is my testimony book. Go get that book if you want to learn more about me. But that testimony, literally, it's me dead, dying, my ego death on the inside as I'm watching people plan to try to kill me around me. And then there's a new opportunity afoot. So the idea is that I took that and turned it to something practical. My practicality in this case was a book. Maybe yours might be a job. Maybe yours might be a testimony. Maybe you go seek out a coach. Maybe you go seek out a spiritual advisor, a spiritual leader. Maybe you go get a tarot card private reading. But whatever this dead ego opportunity is, it is a practical opportunity as well. Again, this is a story. This is a story of defeat. So maybe you're starting a channel. I know I have a classmate friend who I'm not in. This is my last class, but I don't know if it's her last class. But we're not in the same class, but we're in the same topic, same classroom topic. We got two drastically different teachers, and again, for me, I'm the only one in my class. I'm assuming all the other classmates that I had, they're in her class too. And again, it's because This some of these classes are a part of an undergraduate, they're part of a graduate, or they're just their own graduate program. And because they're through a psychology program, again, some kids jump in and take the class, and then they go back onto their regular track. That person who I'm referring to is, she's trying to give herself a new opportunity, a new start, right? But then there's an old story that holds her back, and in the coaching world, she said this. Yeah, in the coaching and therapy, my this terrible story is extremely helpful. But the new opportunity she's trying to get into, she feels like it's hindering her and holding her back. And so I said, well, let the story just be the story. You can't change it. Let the story be the story. And boom. I mean, I'm hoping that she does do what she needs to do because look, that's what this is. So maybe the person who's coming into you, again, maybe they got a similar story. They feel like the story of the past is holding them back. Maybe, again, since I was talking about this in the rant, maybe the person who wants to bring you a loving cup was a cheater back in the day. And they know it. And guess what? They know you don't fuck with that. Maybe it's a old job. And they're like, damn, we need you back. Maybe it's a new job opportunity that is in the shitter, in the toilet, and they hoping that you can come and make a change in the difference. All of these different options, we don't know. And probably most likely they're going to be the same energy is going to happen in a lot of different areas of your life. So the idea is, can we have the perception to see how this story is presenting us a brand new start? That's really what we got to do. We got to see that. And in order to see that, universe says you got to bring in some more energy based upon you being in a pause state. But when you bring in this new energy, this new emotion, it's going to transform and change everything to the point to where even the tower has the little things falling out. So there's going to be a major change, but all of these things is for the greater good. Notice, does this ace have anything falling out from it? No. That's because it's not the same as those cups and that rod energy. I'm trying to show y'all this stuff. Again, you can see it or not if you want to, but sometimes you're a rookie and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're a player, sometimes you're a coach. So let's see what else. I've been screaming it. Temperance card is here. So, the tempering of you in the story that you've been telling yourself, the story that you've been using to stop yourself, the story that you've been using to prevent yourself from moving, changing, and even starting a new story, that has been tempered. You've been tempering it through the emotions, though. And again, I don't like to see this as deception, but a lot of people do. You can see it as that. I see it as the management of things anew. So because I got a whole bunch of different shit, you got to figure out how to manage that. And sometimes, again, it might lead to deception. I guess you thought you can do it this way, but then you had to change it up and do it that way. I mean, but to me, that's not really a big deal. It's just management. I can't control the people I work with, no matter if I say, hey, I work for this. I'm a third party vendor. I'm not a fucking just shopper. I'm a third party vendor. You, you should not treat me the same way. But then, guess what? I don't give a fuck. They can treat me however they're going to treat me. So I don't have to prevent myself from telling a story. There are processes in place. And guess what? There are certain rules that are overseeing certain interactions, meaning safety over everything, just like in a classroom. So if I don't feel safe in an environment or safe to do something, that should clear up all of this confusion of what I should or what I should not do. I just need to report that shit. And then I got a whole team of support on my end, and that's the same with you. Maybe you just acknowledge something. If you can just acknowledge something, then maybe you'll feel all of that support and you can tell yourself a new story and you don't have to be deceived by your own emotions. You can just manage all the changeability. That's it. Managing these things or tempering these things will allow you to see more people Because again, if the dreams come from the subconscious mind, and I had that dream about my girl hanging out with me and my friends, and then some random guy coming up, kissing her, making out with her right in front of us, and then her getting up and leaving with the guy, and us looking around like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? And then realizing it was one of my friends. And so, guess what? I could do what? Die and have a tower moment, or I can just say, oh, I can see through this. How should I manage these emotions? Oh, well, I'm shocked. Oh, I'm surprised. That was unexpected, you know, but I'm strong. You know, I'm on vacation. I'm with my friends. Well, I can, and here's a girl. I can go tell her now. There's more people who are helpful, or who, excuse me, who are helped. So now I'm helpful. I can look and I can see all of these different aspects, man, from a different point of view, and then I can tell a new story about it, a new story that is tempered upon it, and then I can give myself that peace. Again, this would be the situation of the dream. And I said the dream because of the moon card. And again, we're telling ourselves new stories, or we're fighting against these old energies. And then there's this one main energy popping up. But guess what? Even with this energy popping up, I called this greed earlier, but it's also satisfaction. You can be satisfied with the shit too. Just like I was satisfied with that in the dream, the girl leaving with my friend. I'm cool, what the fuck ever. I'm not going to compete with that. I don't even belong in situations like that. I am in the wrong place. I did not know. My bad. I'm fucking up your life because you want to roll like that. Again, these are ways where we can talk to ourselves in order to help ourselves tell ourselves a new story to where we don't get stuck no more. Movement, or the eight of rods showed itself. So you're moving. Hierophant. So in this situation, this is showing you that even though you got burdens, even though you got responsibilities, even though you got the strength to carry, again, I don't like to always, this is not a problem, bro. If I'm in a gym, I want to lift more. I want to be heavy. That's a burden and stress literally put on your body, but I did it on purpose. If I'm a construction worker and I want to get home to my kids sooner, I might not take 2 rods. I might take 10 of them and just move them all over. I might take 10 walls of drywall, or 10 slabs of drywall. I might take two, double the amount of fucking dirt in my wheelbarrow. You know, I might do a little bit more to put a more burden on myself. But again, I can do it. It makes me happy to. But we got to start to see that as an aspect of ourselves, being strong for ourselves. So again, this 10 has a completely dead, but it's a story. But this 10 says I'm completely alive. I got a brand new strength and story, and it's making me happy as fuck. So that is probably what you're communicating to yourself as the judge of the versions of yourself. And of these versions of yourself, whether it's this cup where you're feeling greedy or feeling satisfied, like right now I'm feeling pretty satisfied, and guess what I ate? Only thing I had for breakfast was fruit. Isn't it amazing how like little things like that will change you? It's little things, little things. And I know that, but guess what I ate the day before? Taco Bell. That's because again, I was celebrating, I was enjoying all my life. Oh, and some fucking pizza. Those are not good things for you all the time. And my body didn't need it. So when I gave my body what I needed, again, I felt low and slow. Got some good high vibe energy. Now I feel up and good. That is what I think this Knight of Wands really is. It's options. For me, this is everybody always say the player card. This is my player card. Knight of Wands is the players from the Himalayas, right? The reason why is because it is a energy on the move. All the knights are, but this energy on the move wants to be seen. That's why this page is watching them. But this energy wants to be seen. So it's always going to try to reveal itself, which means that if you got old remaining energies from previous use, guess what? That's cool. They're always going to show themselves and they're always going to go. That's what energy does. That's why when you can package that energy into a something like, oh, here is a relationship dynamic type energy, and I'm starting to see it in my dreams. I've seen it in real life, but I can recognize you. Again, now I can take this and I can be satisfied with what I recognize, and then I can tell people, or mostly tell myself, how that is a good thing versus a bad thing, or how that's a balanced thing, or how that neither way should go. We should do it like this. I can now be the leader of all of those emotions and feelings. All right, I gotta. That's my cue to start wrapping up because this has been like an hour already. So I'll do another one for us, but let's get one more. Oh, this one of the fall. So we're moving to or moving towards a new story. Again, I always like to see the Four of Wands as you resting on these three. Again, I'm putting my trophies up, and I don't care about them no more. I'm about to go get this next trophy. I'm gonna use this new sword to tell a new story, and that's what you're moving towards. But again, that didn't fall out; it just showed. Okay, what is the last thing we need to know before we get our final message? The Hermit. So a lot of these majors are coming out towards the end. Oh man. So what this is showing is that the part of you that's been dwelling inside, ready to come out, that has been needing to defend itself against that, I wanted to say fiery bitch ass energy within you. It's only a bitch because they're trying to stop you, but it's, again, everybody got that bitch ass side in them, and you know that side that says go eat Taco Bell when you want to go eat fruit. You want to eat the fruit, you want to eat the salads and shit, but then part of you say, but that shit's right there. Part of you say, but it's faster. Part of you say, they'll cook it for you. There's a reason that energy is coming up, but I think that the thing is you're having more control over that part of you in that specific area that you're weak in, or not necessarily weak, but always constantly battling. So now you're becoming the emperor upon that, because unlike the king of wands, you don't need to show off your strength. The hermit knows he's the king. Again, I always refer back to how the king of wands and the hermit card both carry a wand. They both do. And so the difference is the hermit's wand is gold. So to me, that's a more enlightened version of the King of Wands. So the fact that this came out, he has a rod in his hand that's gold. The Emperor has a rod or a scepter in his hand that's gold. So does the Hierophant. But the ends of these things matter. So this will be what you call the Ankh, and this creates life. So the Emperor has the ability to bring life and death, but life in the form of creation. This is the Hierophant, and this is what you call a waz. This is a conduit or a conductor. This is used to create amplimeters, just like you have amps in a speaker. And so that gives you more distance when you're playing audio. So if I have a higher amp, I get more sound. Amplification is what that is referring to, and this is what this scepter is. And this is a rod. This rod is normally represented by the power of the scepters put together as this one and that one. But some people even can call it the pillar, right? Or the Jed pillar. And all of these things come together to make the master sword or the ace of swords, right? But the idea is you are the conduit when you have that scepter. So, what this is telling me is that this has the whole world. This one can see the world, and this one is open to peace or judgment of the world, providing opposites. So, and then we got the devil behind that. That's crazy. So, this is for sure a earthly energy, or earthly premise. Why? Look. Does this sequence look bad? No. Again, to me, it shows that somebody has been watching you either become the emperor over your devil energy, transmuting your devil energy, taking your energy, working on it, right? And not just juggling and balancing it, but you are the master. You can see. You can see so well you can help others see. You can see so well that you help others who see show others how to see differently. A coach's coach, a teacher's teacher, a spiritual leader's spiritual leader. You gotta keep that duality in your mind. This is what we call a squared space or a hypotenuse, C squared. Again, always bringing up Einstein and this math shit because they are looking at reality and are documenting it with mathematics and equations. So if you know how to read books, can't you learn about people in society? Yeah. So if you learn how to read equations, you can learn about the fabrics and the interwovenness of the universe. But then, if you got a universe, you got to read the energies in the universe. So this is the psychologies, the interactions between people. But if you want something more hardcore, go get into the chemistries of people, biochemistry. There's always some place where we can go to find more information. And guess what? That is the difference between this card and what you would normally call the King of Wands. And I say that because after Leo season is what season? Anybody know? Virgo. So there's an earth element to everything that we're saying. This card normally represents that, but again, to me, it's closer to the temperance of that King of Wands energy as a king, but in a earthly manner. In other words, this hermit is more reserved. I don't need to flash off. I'm already the bomb. So again, whatever you got going on in your head, just understand you are the emperor of that, so you can control things, you can put things to death or not. But the idea is you already know what you see. You already know how to see. You already know how to tell people how to see too. So you know how to tell yourself, and I think whatever is coming in to tell you about yourself. Again, it's coming in to tell you about yourself. And guess what? It might even be you telling yourself about yourself. Either way it go, just make sure you flow. So, we're going to do an angel deck and get our final messages. And then probably do one more, then I'm going to have to go and start editing these videos. I don't like to edit videos, man, because I feel like it's unnatural. That's why I don't. But I'm going to edit the other ones because just reacting with shorts. And so instead of letting the computer cut it up, I'm just going to cut it up myself. Which means I'll have time for another reading today. I'm going to be doing my long work sessions tomorrow over the weekend. So I'm going to make sure today is a nice more chilled of a day. It's funny, wedding wants to come up. Maybe you're going to be in union or coming into union with a different form of yourself. Maybe somebody's going to say, I'm sick and tired of just being connected with you energetically. I'm sorry. I just want to meet you. I just want to talk to you. So, what's our final message? What's our... Oh. What is our final message? Got for real now. Final message. Final message. So we got innocence at the bottom. Maybe it was something you was afraid of, again, subconscious fears. Ooh, maybe this person come in who maybe they had these subconscious fears. Maybe it's the person who's afraid to come up to you. But at the end of the day, there's nothing to worry about. You are safe, and this situation is under perfect control of divine providence and universal order. Just like I said earlier in the yap, is the idea of what? This is the idea of divine timing. Only infuse loving thoughts, again, loving thoughts, not these deathly thoughts. Beat them off, fight them off, tell yourself a new story. Six of Wands energy, or Six of Swords energy. This kind of energy. Everything is going to be good, always. Put the love and energy into that. Only, only ensure loving thoughts and emotions into the situation to ensure that the highest possible outcome flows effortlessly, effortlessly to and through you. To you and through you. The angels send this card to you because you've been needlessly worrying. Worry is a form of prayer that draws to you that which you do not desire. Release your worries to the angels, as there truly is nothing to worry about. In fact, your worries could create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Just like I was saying earlier, instead of worrying about if this person is going to cheat or not, take advice from my dream, which was if they did, oh, that is something I absolutely don't stand for. I must not be in the right spot. My bad. That is how you give yourself way more grace than just saying, I thought I trusted you. Thought I could trust you. No, you don't have to say things like that. That's injecting things into the situation that's negative. You don't have to worry if they're cheating. Because, again, you know how you're going to respond if they are. Oh, if you are, I'm gone. Oh, if you got anybody into a relationship in any kind of way, I'm out of here. Oh, you're working for me and you got a competitor on your agenda too and you're trying to work with our competitor? No, you can't be here. But maybe you can go get another job that has nothing to do with us. I don't mind that. I'm not going to take money from you, but don't take money away from me if you're going to work with a competitor. These are the things that we have to start to see and understand within our situation, no matter what our situation is. We have to allow things to transpire as they do. Again, just like with me eating my food this morning, just like me eating my food yesterday, two different forms of consumption. Whole different state with me yesterday versus this morning. And that's the cool thing. If I would have stopped myself then, I wouldn't understand myself now. So even with yourself, don't worry. Because if you're trying and you are on the path of growth and change, temperance in other words, then you have nothing to worry about. The only thing you should worry about is being mindful of what you're worried of. So you cannot worry about that shit. Everything's much better than what you imagined. Ask the angels to release you from worry. Send some prayers out. A happy outcome is inevitable. Again, that's change. So do not be afraid of this tower. Again, if you're worried about this, ain't shit to worry about. It's something that's positive. It's good. It's a good thing coming to you. Even if it manifests and appears to be bad. Avoid worrying lest the negative emotions pull you and the situation down. The angels are with you and everything is okay. So, there's nothing to worry about, people. I appreciate y'all being here listening to this one. Make sure that you see yourself as the change agent of yourself and have no fear. Divine timing is here. All right. Peace.